I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 202 of Strapped Season Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know the drill. My usual housekeeping message. Please head over to Strapped Season Pod or Strapped Season Podcast as our Instagram and Twitter pages. That will take you where we're situated at streaming wise. So wherever you get your podcasts, really, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the links are there. YouTube as well. If you like the visuals, the links are also there too. Make sure you do that for us, guys. Flowz, as usual, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Yeah, man. It's been an interesting day. But football aside, Flowz, we're here to talk boxing, as you know.
Yeah.
And I think there's only one place to start from, Flowz, from the weekend. On this pod, right, Flowz? I'm thinking how I'm going to start this pod. This is how I'm going to start. On this pod, Flowz, we'd like to talk about certain, I guess, generational talents. Boxers that are just incredible. That you can see from the jump when you first see them that this person's going to be special. And I think it's worth, I don't know, maybe I'm overreaching here, Flowz. But when we talk about Bam Rodriguez, I feel like his name doesn't come up enough in certain discussions, Flowz, with certain people. When we're talking about talents, generational talents. But I'm going to go out there and say it, Flowz. I think Bam Rodriguez is a generational talent. I'll be so real. And he treated us to another worthy display, another example of his talents on the weekend, Flowz, when he stepped up in weight to challenge one of the kingpins at that division. I always forget what division it is. I think it's 118 pounds, which is super fly. I think it's super fly.
He's moved up from fly to super fly, right?
Yeah. So he's gone to challenge Gallo Estrada, who is a Mexican legend, to be honest, at this point, Flowz. This is a wonderful battle of the old master versus the new young champion, young hungry lion, as Floyd Mayweather would say. And Bam Rodriguez came out on top, Flowz, in wonderful fashion. Am I overreaching, Flowz, when I say that I think Bam Rodriguez is a generational talent? Is that too hyperbolic from me?
I don't believe so. I think if you watch him, it's clear to see he's a superb talent. And the more you watch him, he's getting better. That's the thing.
24 years old, right?
He's getting better, and each time I watch him, I'm more impressed. Now, we'll go into the fight. You can say he had a hairy moment in this fight, but honestly, we'll get into it anyway. We'll get into that.
No, close. Finish what you say, because I'm probably going to jump champion.
He had a hairy moment in that fight.
He had a hairy moment, but what do you think of the fight?
To me, that round in particular, even the hairy moment where he got knocked down in this fight, he won the rest of the round.
Yep.
And he was just caught off balance, which is fair against an Estrada. Because Estrada's body budget, I don't think he was hurt, but he got caught off balance, got up, and proceeded to get back to business. And it's brilliant to see. I think you mentioned as well, he doesn't get enough attention, and I think it's purely because of the weight division. People don't really check for flyweights.
I was going to ask you as well. My follow-up would have been, why do you think he doesn't get the recognition he deserves?
Yeah.
But you're saying that, Flowz, but I guess maybe he hasn't done it. Because two weight classes above him, there's a certain Japanese monster, right? It's only two weight classes. There are only two weight classes apart at this point. Now, he gets a lot of the accolades and a lot of eyes on him.
Only recently.
But I guess maybe because of the way he's done it, the fashion. Obviously, undisputed in two weight. Bam's never been undisputed. He's been unified, but he's never been undisputed. So maybe that's why. And as you say, with Inoue, it's kind of recent. But again, don't forget, he went for that tournament and then he undisputed again. Finally.
But people were discredited Inoue for a lot of last year. They were discredited, trying to bring it down, and now he's turned heads. They were doing a lot. Like
Yeah.
boxing heads, legit, real ones waited in a way. Then casuals
Yeah.
were starting to discredit him. Now they're on
Yeah.
board. Now everyone's on board within a way.
Yeah.
Bam's gonna have to go through that process. He's still young. There'll come a point where they try to discredit him too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But right now, there's little to discredit right now because he's fighting the best guys in the division and he's cooking them.
I just want to go through the run flows.
Mm.
Carlos Codras, Rung Vasai,
Mm.
Sonny Edwards, and now Estrada. That Bam's run through in his last like 6 fights flows.
Yep.
All 4 of those guys are world level elite opposition, right? Flows.
Mm.
He stopped Sonny. He stopped Estrada. He stopped Rung Vasai. I think Codras was a UD, but he won comfortably. So, as you said, he's cooking these men. And these guys are world-class fighters. So, I think his name needs to ring more bells. He should be on those pound-for-pound lists, or what you want to call it, all these lists. There's always a list. There's a ring list. There's a box reg list. I don't know. But yeah,
He'll get there.
Look, he needs to be... Look, for me, he needs to be in discussion flows with these guys. And he is sensational. Like you said, Flows, from the very first day we watched this guy. Were we not hype? Came back on the pod and said, yo, this Bam Rodriguez, brother.
Cold.
I said straight, he's the truth already. I've seen him once, he's the truth. Because, Flows, you know me, I like an angler. And I'm seeing this guy do angles like Lomachenko. I said, yo, this guy is cold.
Footwork.
With more of a mean streak than Loma as well. Like, as in, Flows, when you watch him, this guy's actually mean in there, Like, he's rude in there. Like, he will sit down on his punches. He actually wants to hurt you. Like, he's all smiley in that, but when he gets in that ring, Flows, he's actually looking to injure you.
Really lets his hands go, man. And I swear I said last episode, the punch selection, the punch accuracy, it's scary because the thing is, he sometimes seems like he's right there in front of you. He's right there in front of you.
That's why I was doing it. Yeah.
Angling you, piecing you up, but he's right there in front of you. He's not like he's going anywhere. He's not boxing on the back foot. He's slippery, but he's right in front of you. It's crazy. Yeah. The footwork, the angles, the guard, the head movement, making you miss by inches, applying pressure with the footwork as well.
Bro.
And you throw, he's landed 2 on you. You're confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And talking about the fight now, Flows, as you said, he had that one hairy moment. But to me, Flows, that was it. I felt like he was comfortable for the entire fight. I'll be so real. And that's no shade to Estrada, who obviously being world-class and being a quality operator, being experienced, like I said, Mexican legend at this point, I knew had some strong points and some bits where he'll be in the ascendancy. But apart from that moment, that knockdown, Flows, which, as you said, was off balance. This happened in the 6th round. Prior to that, Bam was doing his usual angle stuff throughout most of the rounds. And Estrada was letting his hands go. But Bam is just quicker, fresher. His punches have a lot more steam towards them as well. So he's hurting him quite frequently. But I'm thinking, oh, he didn't like that. And Estrada's trying to time him. He's catching him sometimes, but really and truly, you can see most of the damage is being done by Bam. 4th round, he drops him. Lovely knockdown. That was the first knockdown. 4th round, dropped. Yeah. And again, I'm there.
1-2.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
and I'm thinking, okay, it's a formality now. Great to I keep saying Quadrats. Credit to Estrada, Gallo Estrada dropped him in the 6th round now, off balance. But even when he dropped him, Flows, you saw Bam's reaction. He as he was getting up, he was laughing. He was chuckling to himself, Flows. I think one of the moments was, okay, yeah, you got me. I got sloppy there. Cool. I've then gone to see him, because watching Estrada, I know that he pressures as well, especially when he has his opponent hurt. But why I'm seeing Bam, the one that pressuring him, uppercutting him, bopping his head back and whatnot. I'm thinking, so goodness me. He damn near won the rest of the round, Flows.
He wasn't hurt. He wasn't. I saw the knockdown and I was like, he was just caught off balance. He was smiling. Yeah. He wasn't hurt. Estrada doesn't really sit down on these punches. Sure, he caught him with a good shot. Look, Estrada is good. We might talk about the ring rust he's had. We mentioned in the last episode, he's been out the ring for some time.
2 years.
Maybe that played a factor. I don't even think it was a bad performance from Estrada. I don't think it was bad. It's just the skill gap, the freshness, the power gap. Like you can see when Bam landed his shots and Estrada landed his shots, who was getting hurt. Yeah, so
that was really apparent.
Yeah, he just wasn't hurt from that knockdown. It made it interesting though. It was a good fight. It was entertaining, but
definitely
only one winner.
Only one winner. So I mean, and again, speaks to this guy how good he is. Got knocked down in the 6th round. What does he go and do now? 7th round. He goes and closes the show, Flowz. In wonderful fashion, Flowz. Absolute peach of a body shot. When you say timing, Flowz, timed perfectly. Slipped under my man's shot as Estrada's throwing the hook.
Yeah.
Slipped underneath it, Flowz. Left hook to the body. Perfect. And as you know, Flowz, we know boxing very well. We've seen this many, many times. A perfectly placed body shot. No matter how hard and tough you are, you're just not going to get up from it. Estrada's a tough man. He's a proud Mexican. Them man don't go down easily.
Yeah.
When he's rolling from side to side, Flowz, I said, yeah, it's gone. It's done.
Yeah.
He got on all fours. I'm thinking, so, oh, right. And then he went back down again. I said, yeah, it's done. It's done. The referee didn't even got to 8. Referee was like, yeah, it's done. It's done.
And if you notice, he was still on the canvas after the fight was waved off for a good.
And Bam was there standing over him laughing, by the way. Like I said, he's a smiling assassin, Bam is. He's a smiling assassin. He was there laughing.
Bam walked around the ring, got on the rope. Yeah. Estrada was still down. Finally got up after a few seconds. Look, and you know what's funny? I thought Estrada was having a good round in the 7th. I thought he was doing okay in that 7th round.
He started punching for punching. He started going punch for punch with him. So I think he himself knew. He's like, look,
this is it. Machine for machine.
Yeah, he's like, I've tried the tactic of trying to just time it and whatnot. It's not worked. But I'm losing the fight, maybe. Let's go machine for machine. And again, there's nothing you can do, Flowz. He was going to lose regardless. Whether he went machine for machine or he went, tried to do his first tactic, he wasn't going to win. So respect to him for going for it. But that's how devastating it can be when you open up against someone like Bam. And remember, Flowz, when we discussed how excited we were with the Edwards fight, our reasons for picking Bam to win that fight, purely based on, look, it's the combination of being an elite boxer, because you can see he's an elite boxer, and a puncher at the same time. That's it. That's purely what's going to take him over the line against other elite boxers who may not have the power or may not have the boxing skill. You know what I mean? So when you have that combination of being elite in both categories, world's your oyster. World is your flipping oyster, mate. And that's what Bam has. He actually has the power, and you can't really outbox him either. Only one man probably can live with him boxing-wise, and that's Mr. Sonny Edwards. But obviously, Edwards got no power, so...
So that went. So that went.
And fair play to Sonny. He gave it a great go. So it was good. It was an enjoyable fight, but...
he tried to go machine for machine as well.
He tried, and it devastating consequences for him. So, yeah, man, look, Bam needs to be more revered, Flowz, in boxing talk. He's going to go up as well, Flowz. He's going to climb. Now, we're obviously seeing the super fight scenarios. I've seen a lot of calls for, he needs to face Inoue, blah, blah. As I said earlier, Flowz, Inoue is 2 weight classes above him at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is mad because obviously at one point Inoue was at 118 and he's jumped up too. So I feel like at some point, Flowz, they probably will try and shift that, aside from the Inoue tank talk as well. But yeah, I will probably more rather see Bam Inoue than, let's say, Inoue tank, for example, Flowz. So yeah. But again, that's not the focus. That's not the focus right now, Flowz. Obviously, I think Bam should just continue doing his thing. He will raise up, and eventually they probably will. Look, Inoue can't keep climbing up anyway, so eventually they'll get to a point when they're both together. They can still build that fight. Like I said, Bam's only 24, so he's still got time, a lot of time. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to think how young he is, Flowz. Still, he's achieved so much already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Bam Robert Garcia?
I think he was. I don't know if he still is.
I swear he was at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah, Robert Garcia keeps a fight. Robert Garcia keeps a fighter, boy. He always gets. Bro, Robert Garcia could get a fighter. I can't lie. Deep it. He keeps a fighter, boy.
Yeah, he does. Uh,
You know, Mikey had like a Canelo.
yeah, that gym, they get fighters in that gym.
Bro, they do. I'm telling you. Yeah. Shout out to Robert Garcia, man.
He's produced a few. He's had a few in that camp.
Brother, Robert Garcia keeps a fighter boy up his sleeve for sure. For you, Flows, are you happy just to see Bam maybe unify? Do his thing in that division before he then, inevitably moves up.
Yeah, there's no rush with him.
I'm just gonna look at the other champions, Flows, in that weight class. Japanese guy called Ioka. He's got the WBA. Fernando Martinez, the IBF, and another Japanese Tanaka, WBO. So these aren't really household names, as you said, as you spoke to earlier about how this weight class isn't really seen as a glamour division, let's say.
Oh.
So actually, I'm just going to take a look. What weight class is Nakatani in?
Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, he's in the weight class above. He's in the weight class above. He's at Bantam. Okay. Interesting. Forget in a way, actually, Junto is more realistic. I mean, as a matchup.
Yeah.
One above as opposed to two above. Junto undefeated as well, exciting, big name in Japan.
Top rank, right?
But yeah, that's the only issue is Junto is top rank and obviously Bam is matching the zone. So, but yeah, we'll see, I guess. But yeah, shout out to Bam Rodriguez, man, top fighter. Yeah, I want to see his name mentioned more. I think it's generational, personally, man. From the very first time I met him, Flowz, I ran to this pod, I started talking lyrical about him, about, yo, this kid is serious. And we can see he's just gone from strength to strength. And as you said, Flowz, he's improving. And it's become more and more meme per fight. It's scary. It's scary. Let's quickly discuss Sonny Edwards, Flowz, his return. He was on the undercard against an opponent called Curiel. Typical Sonny performance, Flowz. The art of hitting, not getting hit. He toyed with this guy from round 1 to round 8. I think it ended in the 8th due to there was a nasty clash of heads in round 6, Flowz. And there was a nasty, nasty gash that opened above Sonny's eye. And in the end, by the 8th round, I think they just said, the fight's got to be stopped. It's a technical decision. Went to the scorecards, and Sonny was up comfortably on all 3 scorecards, so he got the win by TD. But Sonny's style, Flowz. I don't know if it's the crowd. It was in Phoenix, Arizona, full of Mexicans, as you would expect. Mexicans, obviously, they like to see wars. They want to see slugfests and whatnot. And we know that's just not Sonny. Sonny's not going to do that. He was fighting on the back foot, defensive fighting, jabbing, slipping punches, and the crowd started booing him, Flowz. It's not for me to criticize the crowd, Flowz. Obviously, you got casuals who come there. Like I said, Mexicans, they want to see certain action. And the main event gave them that, to be fair. But yeah, it's just Sonny, Flowz. And it just speaks to the fact that how his style, despite how amazing it is, and despite how much I love it as a boxing purist, his style is going to be like Marmite for a lot of people because of the fact that he doesn't look to slug out. And he kind of just washes you just by boxing, because he's not a power puncher, as we know. He's not going to get you out there. He's just going to outbox you for 12 rounds and make you look very stupid. Do you think, Flowz, that Sonny should try and introduce an element of, again, not brawling and whatnot, but try to be a bit more forward thinking in this fight, as opposed to just fighting on the back foot and just taking his opponent to school all the time?
Last fight with Bam, he fought. He
tried it, yeah.
Yeah, he scrapped.
But was that, Flowz? But was that just the magnitude of the fight, doing that to him, and him realizing that, hang on, I'm trying to do the boxing thing, it's not working. This guy's as good as me.
He didn't try for long. Remember, he didn't.
He didn't.
He gave in, and he went to war with him very early. And maybe it's because of Bam. I just think it was a clash of styles with this Curiel. Curiel was very rough and on top of him.
Aggressive.
Very aggressive. So it made it look a bit messy, because whereas Bam's skilled in his aggression, so it's almost like a skill for skills trade-off, as opposed to just bum rushing and trying to roll you over. So I think that's where came the clash of heads. So I think it depends on the opponent. If an opponent's going to come in like that against Sonny Edwards, it's not going to be a nice style. I don't think for anyone, unless that person's doing the same thing, which Sonny isn't going to do. He's going to be super aggressive and try to swing it out with you in that sense. He's going to box and move. So
yeah,
it all depends on the opponent. I don't think do what you need to do to win.
yeah.
When he has done it, he's been entertaining in fights where it looks good against the right opposition. It was the last fight was entertaining. No one was booing that fight. They were enjoying it. That was in Arizona as well, right?
Yeah.
So this fight wasn't the best, but I can't say Sonny style is boring.
Yeah, not to me, but I can understand how a casual.
That fight didn't look good. It's the truth, and sometimes you get that.
Yeah.
And more often than not, you might get it with Sonny because of his style, but when it comes off, when he's piecing people up and showboating and flexing in there, people love it as well.
It's just such a shame that Sonny doesn't have power, man. Obviously, you're either blessed with it or not blessed. And it's a damn shame that he just doesn't have, 10% more pop to his, just 10% more pop to his punches would be lovely, Flowz. At least wobble your opponent, you know what I mean? That could be nice. But he's not blessed with power. He uses what he has, and he bloody uses it very well. So fair play to him. I've always got time for Sonny Edwards, bro. I just don't like to see him booed, I guess, because again, I think he's phenomenal. So it kind of hurts me seeing him booed during rounds, and when the results being read out, he's being booed. Like I'm not a fan of that person because of just how highly I rate him. But it is what it is, I guess. You're gonna get what you're gonna get with him. Yeah, cool, Flowz. Let's move on to next week then. Briefly, a couple fights to talk about. I think it's worth starting with Teofimo, Flowz. Obviously, we mentioned let's review Teofimo. That happened this week. Teofimo Lopez Flowz against Steve Claggett. Now, Flowz, I didn't watch this live, so obviously I've had to tune in today to watch it. But obviously, I went to JK's reaction on the Twitter streets, as we tend to do. And I'm seeing a lot of people cook Teofimo Flowz. And I'm thinking, oh, goodness me. I see that he won UD, wide scorecards. But I'm then thinking, damn, why are they cooking, bro? And you know what, Flowz? After watching this fight, I'm actually going to shoot Teofimo Peter Bell. There might be an agenda towards Teofimo still, Flowz. A little bit of an agenda. Or dislike to him. Because I felt like the abuse was a bit unwarranted from the boxing fans. Because I'll be honest, Flowz, he cooked this guy. As we said he would, Flowz, he cooked this guy. Like, he cooked him. And to be fair, he landed some bloody big shots against this guy. Huge shots, bopping his guy's head back from pillar to post, combinations, uppercuts was landing all night. And to be fair to this Steve Claggett guy, he had a lot of heart, Flowz, and he clearly had an amazing chin because he didn't take a backward step. He kept coming. So to me, Flowz, Teofimo did what he had to do. I think, yes, it would have been nice to get a nice knockout, real stoppage or whatnot, but he was comfy throughout the entire fight, Flowz, and he did look to try and get this guy out of there, and this guy was just stubborn. So fair play to Claggett. My only main critique, Flowz, is as Teofimo gets sloppy sometimes with his defense, with his hands down and whatnot. So I do think he got caught too many times that I would like to say, but he was never really in trouble from this Claggett guy. Again, all the big major shots was landed by him. But I feel like because Teofimo talks a lot, Flowz, and he mentions certain people's names off the back of his performances, aka Bud Crawford, for example, it's got a lot of people saying, oh, nah, keep his name out your mouth. You have no right to mention him when you're pointing at performances like this, or you can't even get a Claggett out there, you know what I mean? Which is why people are extra harsh on him. But overall, Flowz, he did what he had to do. He didn't get that. I want him to get a highlight reel knockout. He didn't get that, but he did batter this guy, to be honest, in my eyes. So yeah.
Yeah, you're more generous than I am. You're more generous than I am. I'm not gonna kill him too tough, but look, when the bell rang and they said this is Claggett's first 4-round fight, this first, I was like, yo, look, this was cherry. It's the truth of the matter.
It was a cherry. We said that
And
last
this
week,
is
though.
and this is someone who's put in there for you to get out of there.
Mhm.
Granted, Claggett didn't come to roll over. That's absolutely granted. Whatever plan they had for him, he came in and he weren't there to roll over. He came forward. I was somewhat impressed with how he came. Not that I want to see him again in the sense that I don't think he's a contender. I'm only impressed that I think he can give some guys any trouble. Absolutely not. But he came to fight. He threw punches. He swelled up both Teofimo's eyes. He was landing. He was catching Teofimo. He lost every round, granted, but he came to fight and he didn't come to roll over. It looks like a good sparring session. The fight was entertaining in the fact that Claggett came to fight and he was landing in portions. He was getting pieced up in portions. But it just looked like a 12-round spar, 12-round good spar for Teofimo. And at this level, we wanted to see someone a bit more impressive. You got the win, and you looked okay. But you're meant to look okay against Claggett. You're not meant to have two swollen eyes and not get him out of there. So with all that talking about, you want Crawford, I agree with everyone else who's saying be quiet, please, because we talk about Teofimo all the time. He's an enigma. He might decide to turn up and beat Crawford, impossible, but who knows? He always does the impossible.
Yeah.
He might show out against the Crawford, but you can't be having these yin-yang performances, man. Now, not to say this is a bad performance, but you're meant to get a Claggett out of there.
I'm the one that said last week that for me, he has to get him out of there. Cool.
Yeah.
But watching that fight, Flowz, I can't lie. Claggett was stubborn, man. Like, Teofimo actually threw the kitchen sink at him.
Get knocked out.
I thought like there was some shots flush where I'm thinking, woo, Claggett's head's going this way, that way. And he somehow stayed in there. I thought another night, Claggett might have gone down, but Claggett looked possessed in there in terms of just his staying power was crazy. So
I don't think he's ever been stopped before.
Bro, I can't lie. He showed, obviously, I've never seen him fight before. I don't know who this guy is. We've never heard of a Steve Claggett.
Yeah.
But to me, he shipped some massive shots yesterday and he's still on his feet. So I'm actually going to give credit there because it wasn't like Teofimo wasn't landing big shots. Teofimo landed numerous haymakers. And this guy, and actually, to us, it raises the question that I've seen. Did Teofimo leave his power at 135? Because I don't think he stopped anyone since he moved up to 140.
I'm saying cherry pick got it wrong, man.
I'm going to go as far as say cherry pick because as you said, Flowz, he won every round. And to me, he won every round convincingly.
He wasn't there to win rounds, bro. He wasn't there to win.
Like I said, look, for me, he got hit too much. You mentioned the two swollen eyes. He got very, very lazy with his defense, hands down. I think because he was looking for, the showy kind of stuff, maybe he just didn't rate my man's power. Probably didn't that either. He was like, okay, I'm gonna put my hands down and just throw big bombs and whatnot. Look for the big shot, and he was landing that big shot. But this guy wasn't budging. So fair play to Claggett. But I'm not gonna go as far to say cherry pick gone wrong because apart from the two swollen eyes, Flowz, Teofimo wasn't stressed in that fight, bro. He wasn't stressed at all.
Yeah, he won every round.
There was no hairy moments for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like a Sandor Martin where I'm there thinking you're losing rounds here. or even Jermaine Ortiz. I thought he won that fight, but Ortiz is just tricky. Flowz, Ortiz was quite negative though. Even you like
But he done what he needed to win. He's the underdog. He was gonna come like that.
Do you think Ortiz won that fight?
Nah.
Okay, let's say Teofimo won that fight to me, but it was a tough performance because of the way Ortiz fought, and Ortiz is good, so.
I can't remember what I decided. But yeah, look, at 140 now, he's had one amazing performance.
Josh Taylor.
Which was meant to be the hardest one. And not to say this is a stinker, but look, the fans aren't liking it. Especially off the back of the...
look, I agree with the Crawford stuff. So it's from jump, because he's been mentioning Crawford since he beat Ortiz, I think. I said, hell no. Forget that nonsense. You're not going to call out Bud, stop it. But yeah, apart from that, Flowz, I do think he gets extra stick maybe because he's talked a lot in the past, and because he churns out these yin yang performances. Mate, I feel like it's probably that. And this is why I said to him last week. This is why I said last week, Flowz, I would need him to deliver because I can see what the people are saying about him and how they're onto him. You know, he hasn't even fought. They say he's a loudmouth, doesn't do this, blah, blah. And I can see that, you know, his peers are getting more recognized in him. And he's the one that's actually done a lot of bits as well. So, yeah, that's why I want him to have this showpiece performance. And he wasn't able to get this guy out of there, unfortunately. But as you said, Flowz, he won every round convincingly to me. He landed big shots. It's just unfortunate, but this guy was a lot tougher than they clearly bargained for. So fair play to. You said he hasn't been stopped, bro.
Yeah. Look, I don't think there's
his chin's not a scrub.
There's no agenda because if Shakur Stevenson,
okay, yeah,
if Shakur Stevenson had the same performance as Claggett, he'd get killed. If Devin Haney got the same performance against Claggett, he'd get killed. If any of them had the same performance,
but first, what was killing me was I was seeing fans say Devin gets Claggett out of there, Shakur get Claggett out of there. That's, to me, that's an agenda because those guys don't get him out of there. I'm saying that for free, Flowz.
Yeah.
Devin Haney and Shakur Stevens are not getting Steve Claggett. No way. So that's why I knew, okay, it's an agenda because for you not to draw for Devin, who last week was a pariah. Last week. Last week, you lot were killing Devin. So for you to even mention Devin gets Claggett out of there, that's why I knew there was, okay, you lot are moving mad now. That is an agenda.
To be fair, look, I'm just saying, if they all had that performance, they were getting killed, no matter what. So he has to firm it because he's been talking in the past, at least. You have to firm those performances. Whether no one wants to see you go 12 rounds with a Claggett. Simple.
But real talk though, Flowz. Do you think he lost? Because don't forget, Teofimo came up as a power puncher.
Yeah, he did get some amazing knockouts.
Bro, crazy knockouts. Remember we said like that's what he hasn't. The last time he stopped someone was his first fight at 140 was Pedro Campa. He stopped that guy. But since then, he's had 4 fights at 140 Flowz, and he hasn't stopped any of opponent. I don't think there's even been a knockdown in any of them. So that could be.
That's not a 140. Yeah, he hasn't. Yeah.
No, yeah, he hasn't, bro. He hasn't dropped, apart from Campa, which is his first fight at 140, he hasn't knocked anyone out. I don't think, from what I recall, he hasn't actually dropped any of his opponents. I think he hurt Josh. He hurt Josh Taylor, but he didn't drop him. He didn't drop him though. So, yeah, man. And that Josh Taylor hurt, I think, was more fatigue, really, to be honest. But regardless, that is a question that I'm seeing now, whether he left his power at 135, which kind of doesn't really make. He meant to kind of get powerful as you go up in weights, kind of. So I don't know about that. But I don't know.
It's hard to say because he's fought good people at 140.
Yeah.
He's fought good people at 140, and he's not been fighting people who are known canvas touchers. So
no canvas touchers is hilarious.
Yeah, they're not. So I don't recall their man Martin, Josh Taylor, or teams touching canvas like that. And from the looks of it, Claggett can take a punch too. So
clearly,
it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't read into it too much. But if anyone wants to say anything, it would be about this Claggett fight that you didn't get him out of there, but we'll see.
No, yeah, we'll see. Look, I'll see Claggett's next opponent to see who he fights. If he fights another one of these guys, and see if they get him out of there. Look, we mentioned the Bud Crawford again. He has no business mentioning his name, but there was another name he did mention for us, and that was Isaac Cruz. He called for him and Isaac to unify that 140 titles. Now that I can get with. I'm okay with that because again, that's your weight class, that's your division, fellow champion, and I'm itching to get Isaac Cruz out of here. So. And that will make for a very exciting fight based on how Isaac Cruz fights, right? So, is Isaac PBC?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, fair. Okay. So I don't know how realistic that could be, but yeah, interesting. He called out Isaac to get the unification on, and not Devin or what's his name, Paro. Interesting, it was Isak. But I'm here for him unifying Flowz. I'm here for him doing all of that. So yeah. But going forward, Flowz, what actually I said Devin's vacated. Yeah, Devin has vacated.
See?
Yeah. I saw it the other day. I don't send it to you.
Did he retire? He said he's retiring, but he doesn't have a
He's
fight
he,
lineup. Or he's not
they
taking a
made
break.
him.
He's taking a break.
They made him champion in recess, and they've upgraded. Puello has now been officially awarded the full title now.
How? Wait, how? That
Because
doesn't make-
Puello had the interim, I think.
So why is he? Why have they made him champion in recess?
It said something about they declared him world champion in recess, and Puello was elevated to full champion. I don't know why they've made Devin champion in recess though. Is it
because he says he's taking a break? Is that why? Or I'm
possibly
confused.
yeah?
Because it's not like he's been inactive. He's just fought.
He's just fought. Yeah.
Maybe because he said he's taking. Well,
Oh, he requested to be placed in recess, and they
Okay.
accepted his request.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's part of him taking a break. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I don't know what Devin's doing. But yeah, anyways.
And that was a perfect planner.
Let's leave it there. Go on to your female. Look, better performances if possible. Get the haters off your back, because I still like Tiafimo. I just needed to shake this Enigma tag. It's annoying. You can't be sometimes good, sometimes bad. I get it. You tend to fight to level your opposition. So the big fights you really get up for. But yeah, man, get these little guys out the way in devastating fashion too, man. Let's get some consistency in your work. Sticking with top ranked fighters flows. Let's move on to next week. We can discuss Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, we made a little joke about how him and Tiafimo got the Thursday treatment, but they're back on Saturdays now, as we said. Shakur is again fighting on Saturday flows. He's defending his, I think he's got the WBC belt. I think. He's fighting against, he's got the WBC 135-pound belt, and he's fighting Artem Harutyunyan, who we saw fight Frank Martin recently. Armenian fighter. You know, Shakur, it was tricky for him getting opponents, apparently. They went, I think they literally were going through the rankings, and you see a lot of people ducked and a lot of people went on it. But Harutyunyan apparently was the guy that took it. So that's why Shakur's fighting him. I'm trying to remember his fight against Martin. I feel like he was decent against Martin, to be fair. Martin took it by UD. This fight was last year. I don't know if do you remember seeing that fight? Well, I remember watching it, but it wasn't the most memorable fight. But I think he gave Martin trouble in his portions before Martin sort of ran away with it towards the end.
Yeah, I can't remember if I had seen it or not.
But he's an Armenian German fighter. He was at the Olympics. He won the bronze actually in 2016 Rio. But yeah, from Frank to Shakur, that's a nice little run for him. It's in Newark, obviously. Yeah, man. Similar to Tiafimo Flowz, we know Shakur's got a lot of haters based on his, I guess, just him talking a lot on Twitter, as they say, and his last performance against De Los Santos was very, very ripped, very, very divided flows. Like till this day, they're still cooking for that performance. Said he ran the entire fight, wore in, puts people to sleep. Till this day, he cooks him. So they cook him, and I think Shakur can go in this with a massive chip on his shoulder flows to show out. Based on his tweets as well, he's been talking like he's really going to show the world and show out and knock this guy, be offensive and knock this guy out. I think first and foremost, flows, Shakur shouldn't let the fans and let, I guess, his peers and whatnot get into his head. I feel he shouldn't look too deep. Focus, obviously, the boxing and getting a W, which I'm sure he will do. And yeah, the elite performances, the elite showstopper performances will come, flows. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But I feel like he buys too much into it sometimes, flows, and bites too much. And he's obviously a proud guy. And yeah, I know it can be painful for him, but for him just focus. I want him to focus on the boxing flows. I don't want him to tweet as much as he does. Even though, sometimes I enjoy the back and forths. With Shakur, at one point, flows, it got to, it's more tweeting than fighting. And as a guy that we've championed so highly, flows, we're not trying to see you go out like this. You get me? So, yeah, man, I do want him to do like a great, show some performance if he can. Again, just to remind the fans and, get them talking about him in a good light. But I hope he doesn't get into his own head and trying to do that and he gets sloppy, if that makes sense, flows. But I'm fully expecting him to be comfortable and win this fight quite easily.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see the return of Shakur Stevenson. And look, I'm calling on him to be impressive as well. Because he needs to. I think he needs it. I think he needs it. Because there's been a lot of, since he was last out, and there's been a lot of movement within his contemporaries. They fought each other. They've all been out. We've seen some good clashes, some good knockouts. Some people's stock has risen. Some people's stock has dropped. Yeah, he needs to throw his name right in the hat again, because people are calling for him and Tank a stinker. They'll be like, he's not ready. A great performance. There's going to be pressure on these guys to fight him, because people are avoiding him. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, and he was doing a lot of talking with Devin prior to all of this. Saying, so yeah,
and then Tank as well, Flowz. It was Devin first, then Tank.
Yep, a lot of talking. So now it's time to produce the action, and the action's got to be good. It has to be good, because they're gonna kill you. It's not. They're really gonna kill you. And I'll be fair. I'll be fair too. If it deserves cooking, it deserves cooking.
And a lot of these man, unfortunately, Flowz, Tank Davis is massive, right? And obviously we kill Tank for the opposition he fights sometimes, and you know how he doesn't tend to fight the guys we want him to fight. But he'll always get people on his side, Flowz, when he puts performances and highlight real knockouts like he does. You know, the Haney's did a wonderful campaign, wonderful smooth campaign on Tank. Before, next thing you know, Devin Haney's taking his first look. Well, it's been cancelled now, but Devin Haney gets beaten by Thingy. And then Tank, then a week later or whatever, goes and does that. And everyone's like, oh, Tank again, Tank again. And naturally, because his name holds so much weight, his contemporaries will be, you know, they'll talk on his contemporaries and they'll be like, oh, Shakur doesn't want to fight this guy, this, that. And we know that's anything but the truth. Shakur's been interested to fight these guys. And he's been confident saying that he beats these guys, but these fights haven't materialized one way or another. And part of the reason is, I guess, they say that Shakur's not a draw. So it's within his best interest, right, Flowz, to put in that great performance, to get that buzz around his name again, so that, you know, fans can push for these fights that we feel like he deserves, he needs to be in. The Devins, the Tanks, Teofimo, so on and so forth. So, yeah, definitely calling on a good performance from him. We're always fair, Flo, so you don't have to caveat that. We finna be fair regardless. But yeah, hopefully he does his thing. And yeah, I'm expecting him to treat us next week. I mean, this upcoming week, Saturday, and show that he's a bit too much for the Armenian. It's actually a really good card, Flowz. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But on the card, we've got Constance
Shaki Foster's your boy.
Shaki Foster and Constance fighting for very good fight, Flowz. Shaki Foster's a champion, right? So he's defending. Tough defense. We know how much we rate Constance highly. Mm-hmm. Constance fought all the best guys, you know.
Yep,
Great resume. Great resume. Keyshawn Davis is back, Flowz, against a Mexican Miguel Madueno, power puncher from what I can see. That shit, I haven't seen this guy fight, Flowz, but I just feel like it's gonna be a cracker already. With Keyshawn and the explosive power, come forward, aggressive power puncher. Yeah, that should be a good fight still. And it's always good to see. I feel like, you know, Flowz, it's been a while since we heard from Keyshawn. We do like his antics. So I'm intrigued to see who he calls out after the fight. If he's still calling out Teofimo, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, good undercard still. Good card overall. In the UK, let's quickly touch upon quick card in the UK as well, Flowz. Matchroom the zone card. Johnny Fisher, the run for Bull, is fighting against Alan Babbage, headlining. Yeah. I think, Flowz, you said that this fight was very surprising to you.
Just seemed a bit out of the blue. So
really?
Yeah, we'll see.
do you have a winner?
Fisher. Unreal.
Interesting. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
Fisher takes it. He might even stop
Just
Babbies.
too big, too strong, right?
But I think Fisher's been patient as well. He's more patient in the ring than Babbage. Babbage, if he comes forward with no guard and whatnot, I think Fisher would really just pick him apart and hurt him as he's coming forward and then get him out of there. So I think Fisher shows a lot of maturity in that ring. I don't think he's going to be as reckless as Babbage will be.
Which is, when you say maturity, it's crazy because Fisher's a lot younger.
Yeah, he does. He's not like the man who need to take a punch before they they wake up. He's awake in there. But granted, it's heavyweight boxing. He could get caught with something early and that could ruin his whole game plan and mess him up. But
it's a nice,
I'm Fisher.
At this stage as well, Flowz in his career, 11 fights, to get a Babbage is pretty good. But then again, Babbage has also had the similar amount of fights. So, it's definitely surprising, but I'm here for it. It should be a good fight, Flowz. We've also got Reece Pelotti on the card as well, and John Hedges as well. He's also on the undercard as well. So, decent home card for these shows on Saturday, 6th of July. Flowz, just before we round up, I thought we have to talk about, obviously, the AJ Dubois announcement, the presser, the promo. Yeah, Flowz. Oh, man. Obviously, we knew it was coming, that there was the rumor that His Excellency wanted to do a card over here at Wembley on, I think, 21st of September. We knew he wanted to do a British thing, AJ headlining. Dubois has been able to come through Hrgovic. Made sense to make that happen. Daniel Dubois is here. Undercard looks great as well. Flowz, who do you have? We've got Buatsi versus Hutchinson. We've got oh gosh, mine's gone blank. Who else? Who else in the undercard? Do you remember? I know it's Buatsi Hutchinson.
We have Hamza Shiraz versus Tyler Denny.
Yeah.
Who else we got? It's a good undercard, but I can't even remember who else is on there.
Literally, I can't remember. But I guess us, obviously, we're going to speak about AJ Dubois, but Hutchinson, Buatsi, already is looking like it's fireworks, where they're seeing clips of Buatsi choking out Hutchinson. Because we know Hutchinson's going to talk a lot of smack, and it looked like they had a little face-to-face, and Dubois wasn't having any of it. Which we said before, he's in Dubois. He's like that, but he doesn't show it. But yeah, it's good. But let's talk about AJ Dubois. Sorry, Buatsi. But let's talk about AJ Dubois first, because we've seen the build up a little bit, and we've seen the video footage got released of their little sit down together, Flowz, and AJ's had a little bit of a flare up where, they've asked AJ a question. AJ said he's ready to fight. We've seen Dubois do his usual, let's go. Let's get it on now. Let's if he wants to swing now, let's do it. And AJ's flipped out, bro. He said, "Don't talk to me like that. I'll smash this chair across your face." Stood up. He said, "Who are you talking to, Daniel? Don't disrespect me like that." Blah 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 blah. Flowz, me and you, we've been laughing about this. We've been laughing at this video for all week, Flowz. I can't tell you how many times I've played it, Flowz. It generally is hilarious. Yeah. Seeing AJ livid at Dubois, him standing up, Dubois backing it. You can't intimidate me. He's not going to intimidate me. Dubois standing up as well, backing it. You see Frank and Eddie sort of get involved. Eddie's cut out. Yeah, Flowz, it's been hilarious. And you said something, Flowz, to me about how why AJ's reacted this way. Flowz, why do you think AJ's reacted in this way? You want to let the listeners know?
Best Daniel Dubois. We always say that. You can tell he's been homeschooled.
I believe with that, bro.
You can tell he's been. I look
sheltered.
And yeah, sheltered lifestyle. AJ knows this. There's a thing. I think many of you will have it in school. When some little you is talking tough to you, and they're not tough. They're not bad, but they're talking tough in public, and you're like, who the hell are you talking to?
I know who you are, Like,
who the hell? Like, look, Daniel Dubois says if he wants to go now, let's go. This ain't a ring. This ain't a boxing ring. You're talking about you want to rock out in public. And he told him, look, relax, relax, because I don't know what you, Daniel, are talking about. If you want to go now, we can go now. Like, we're going to start boxing in here. I'll crash this chair on your head if you want to go now. And obviously, look, Daniel's just saying it because he has his usual go-to lines, which is "Let's go, I'm ready."
Let's go, I'm ready. Yeah,
yeah. He was just saying it. He didn't really mean it. He's just saying it, but AJ's like, look, don't just say words for the sake of saying it because there's cameras and there's people here, and you're trying to talk for the fight about let's go now. Look, and Daniel Dubois saying that, a good boy, a homeschool boy. You weren't on the streets. You weren't doing any. You weren't bad. You weren't ever bad. You're a good boy. Don't talk to me about let's go now. That's exactly what AJ's mindset is.
Yeah.
And obviously Daniel weren't melting it. And when he said, "Who do you think you are?" AJ lost it. AJ lost it. Who do you think you are? Yeah.
The way AJ stood up, and hey, credit to Daniel. He didn't back down. Stood up as well.
No.
The thing is, why was he saying no, Flowz?
He didn't know what to say, bro. There was no script for this. He didn't know what to say.
Oh,
can't say so let's go. I'm ready. He's like, no.
Hilarious, bro. Hilarious.
And the shirt with no cufflinks. I mean,
yeah, the drip was. I don't know what to say for that one. I can't lie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Double cuff shirt. Uncuffed with no cufflinks. And no one said, yo, Daniel, roll up your sleeves or here's
the contrast between both of them. What AJ was rocking the beater and trackies, bro. And then Dubois rocking that. Yeah, hilarious. Both of them. But yeah. Look, this has been hilarious because obviously the snippet came out, Flowz, in terms of Michael Benson's tweeted what Eddie said. And I've said, this looks like gas. Why is AJ flipping out on him like this? Like, I need to see video evidence. So to see the actual evidence, like shortly afterwards, was golden for me. I said, wow, it actually was true. And this is flipping hilarious. AJ is going to understand quickly that he's going to do a lot of carrying with this promo because Dubois only has default lines. He has set default lines, he says. And that is, like you said, Flowz, let's go. I'm ready. And bring it on.
I want to chop that
tree down and bring it on. Bring it on.
He's got the Kingslayer line. I've seen him use it 3 interviews.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's the King Bob, the Kingslayer.
Yeah. I'm the Kingslayer. Look, man. Once again, Flowz, bless Daniel Dubois. Bless him, man.
He's been gold, man.
Good you. But apart from that, Flowz, obviously we'll get into it properly when the fight is approaching. Because I have a very strong prediction for me personally. Anyways, look, it's anyways. Boy, yeah, we'll get it. But apart from that, it's an exciting fight. Definitely an exciting fight. 2 guys who can bang out and rock out. It's just, unfortunately, that's the way I think it's going to go. It could be long for one side. That's what I'm going to say.
Right.
But yeah, we'll talk about that properly. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see if we have any more flare-ups in the promo. Probably not. Because, like I said, Dubois only says a couple words. Between them, I do think it actually is respectful, and obviously they know each other well, based off sparring and whatnot, which is, again, probably what gave rise to AJ having that attitude. Because he's like, I actually know you personally. I know you personally. You're good, you.
Don't be talking to me like that, Daniel.
Like, I know Daniel.
This little boy, you know?
He said that. Who's this little boy talking?
You know what? It's the same thing as when, Dean White said to Zora, look, you stick to boxing, bro. Because if you want to
stick to what you know.
Talk about let's go now. I'd be upset if Daniel Dubois said that, man.
I'm finished.
Let's go now.
Too funny.
Oh man. Shout out to Frank as well. Frank was there, was a real protector.
For real. Frank was way quicker to rise than Hearn. Hearn was enjoying it. Hearn was watching it at first, and then Frank was quick grabbing his wrist.
Frank was right in between them. He wanted to present Daniel there.
Bro.
He didn't want Daniel here. But yeah, Eddie Hearn was loving it.
Bro.
Look.
Too funny.
That video is too funny.
Hilarious, man. No.
AJ's always been like this as well with build-ups.
Yeah.
He's always been weird. He
frosty, right? Frosty. Weirdly frosty.
The Brazil one still kills me to this because Brazil didn't say anything.
That was the funniest one. That was the funniest one. I'm going to watch this after this.
When Brazil, I don't even know what Brazil said. I think he said, I'm ready or something. It's something similar.
Yeah.
AJ got vexed. Yeah, AJ funny. So all the people that said, the mask is falling off, AJ. He's always been like this.
I'm so tired, bro. You don't know him. Like this. Shut up. You don't know this guy. He's never met you ever in life. All this talk about, finally we see the real AJ. You don't know this guy.
Yep.
These comments actually piss me off so much because it's like you've never met him. Your online character talking about this is the real AJ. Come on, man.
It's true. Anyway, good fight, man. We'll be there.
The thing is, they were saying the opposite for Bugatti. This is unlike Bugatsi. Like, you don't know him.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know him about it's unlike.
You're telling you Bugatti's on it.
We don't know him as well, but we know these characters and we see characters like this in our daily lives, bro. We know Bugatti has that road streak in him.
You've seen it. You've seen it. All you need is telltale signs of that. Don't play with this.
Because we've seen Bugatti pull up on guys live out.
Nah, I've even heard. I know people who went to school with Bugatti.
Yeah.
he's a serious guy.
That's a terror.
The mistake, quite good. Yes, he's that, but he's also that as well.
Yeah,
he's
for real.
And Willie Hutch is a draw out. Great draw out.
Yeah. That promo is gonna be hilarious, I think, Flowz, because of how Hutchinson is. And unlike Spider, who's very respectful, Whitesy could, because even the way Whitesy was setting on Craig, he started to get serious with him. That's like my Spider. You know me, Spider. You know what I do, Spider.
He's ready to get
bro.
But what it is the same thing with the bar. They looking at these man like you guys are not bad. So don't talking to me like this outside of the ring. Let boxing be boxing, but if you want to talk outside the ring, who's a Willie Hutchinson to start talking smack to me? That's how Bratty's thinking. The same way AJ's thinking with the bar.
Facts. Yeah.
They don't rate these man.
Bro, it makes for fascinating fights and build up. That's what I'm gonna say. But Flowz, let's call it a day there. This has been episode 202 of the Stretch Season Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Cam.
Flowz.
And as always, guys, you know where to find us. Peace.
You think of the strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.